Hey, welcome everyone. Come on in. How is your day going? It's some exciting things we have going on that's affecting our government here today. So come on in, come on in. And pull up my notes and we're going to jump right on in. So I know today is really exciting for some people, maybe a little bit overwhelming because we have elections today. So hopefully everyone is voted and that kind of thing. If not, make sure you do your part. Let your voice be heard. I always say that. Even here on the channel, I talk about letting your voice be heard. So definitely, if you haven't done that, put that on your schedule today. But we don't really think about it in this sense. And I'm only mentioning it because we're all about government contracting here. So some of what's going to take place today is going to actually affect possibly the government contracting as well. Who knows, right? We don't know, but we do know it revolves around the government. But come on in, let us know who you are, where you're joining from. And today we're going to be talking about some success habits. So I want to share with you guys 9 of my success habits for government contracting. So I'm going to be sharing some things with you guys here today that has worked in the past and is still working here today with people, individuals, companies that's looking to win their first government contract. So that's what I'm going to be sharing here with you guys today. As you come in, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer to the government. So who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer to the government, okay? If this is your first time, welcome. If it is not, you can tell I'm in a different location because we've been having some internet issues. So I wanted to plug in to make sure I could get this message to you guys today without interruption. So here we are. But go ahead and let us know who you are, where you're joining from, what you offer to the government. So again, today we're going to be talking about the 9 success habits for government contracting. So I want to share some things with you guys that you can start implementing in your business today and get you on the right track so that you can make it happen in your business, whatever that is that you're offering. So, hey, Danny, come on in. Hey. Ty here from Atlanta. Welcome. Delvis, hello from Chicago. I know it's cold up there. Okay, great. So yeah, come on in. Let us know who you are, where you're joining from. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. And this is really, I'm sharing this today. I'm pulling up my notes here because I get this question all the time about what should I be doing. I also get the question, I see it on social media. So, I'm on social media just like everybody else on, the different platforms. And I see the same question just asked in a different way. But the end goal is people are looking to get their first bid done and win their first government contract. And that is a struggle for a lot of people. So I want to make it so much not a struggle after today. So I want to share with you again the 9 success habits that I share with my clients that we're actually implementing. And then now, after I share with you here today, you can implement it too. So let's dive on in. Now, what I'm getting ready to share with you, of course, some of it may surprise you. So, but no worries, right? Let's run through the 9 and then we can always talk about it. So the first thing is, I want to encourage you, if you're just starting out, if you have a new business, one offer. What I see a lot of times is people want to have multiple offers, and it's really difficult, especially when you're offering a service, because then it's kind of like you're doing something over here in left field that's totally different from what you're doing over here in right field. And so it's hard for someone, me being a prime contractor or a contracting officer, to look at you when you're offering multiple things to kind of figure out what you're an expert at, what can you really do, and how, because in the back of our head, what we're thinking is like, how can you run 2 businesses that are totally different and it's just you? So a lot of times the other question is, people ask, well, I want to offer multiple things, but it's just me. And it's kind of like, well, how can you do that? Like, that's what we're thinking. Like, if it's just you, how can you possibly do all these other things in your business. Like, you're going to do professional training and development. You have a janitorial company. You're going to do landscaping. Come on, let's keep it 100. There is no way possible that you could do all those things. And even when people bring that to the table, a lot of times they don't have the team to support even saying that they can do that. So it becomes a problem. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, if you need to narrow down your focus, your offer to one thing, I do have a video here on the channel where I talk about the next codes, and that should help you in narrowing down what you're going to offer to the government to one thing. That's not to say you can't bring other things on later, but let's get the first contract under your belt and go from there. Okay, so one offer. The second thing is you need to understand the need for a team before you need it. A lot of time, and I think what I just shared with you as far as the offer, it kind of talks about that a little bit if you think about it, but it's very, very important to understand the importance of a team, and then also to have the team in place before you need the team. If you started bidding contracts already, it goes like this. The bid process it moves really quickly when you're having to put together a bid. And so I want to encourage you, if you're going to need some type of outside support team to deliver on your promise, whatever it looks like, start putting those people, those things in place before you need them. There's no way possible to build a relationship in the time it's going to take you from finding the bid to actually submitting the bid. So be proactive on that one. This one is a must, and you need to start doing this one before you need it. Now, what are some of the things or people that you may have or need on your team? An accountant. Trust me, once the money starts flowing in and out, like income coming in, expenses going out, you're having to pay subcontractors, you're having to pay vendors, suppliers, and all that other stuff, and you're doing multiple projects and all this stuff, you're going to need somebody to manage your books. Trust me, it won't be you. So you need an accountant. Insurance, you need a insurance person that can guide you on the type of insurance you need to make sure you're always protected. You also need, if your what you're offering requires bonding, then you're going to need a bonding agency on your team as well. A banker for sure. Where's the money going to go? Right? So you want to make sure you have a banking relationship, your bank account, all that stuff set up. What if you need to take out a loan or get a line of credit or something like that? So make sure you have your bank account in place, the place where you're going to bank, the place where you're going to build relationships with the bankers before you need them. Because again, you can't build the relationship at the last minute. And sometimes that's helpful when they know you, especially when you're just starting out and your financial picture is not what they're normally looking for. So that relationship will come in handy. Also, workers, if you're going to have people help you deliver on your promise, maybe you need suppliers, then you need to get those suppliers lined up, your vendors lined up, those line of credits lined up with them. If you're going to need support with your paperwork, most of you guys are fabulous at what you do, at what you offer, but you probably suck at the paperwork. So if that's the case, and then again, as you get multiple projects, guess what? You won't be able to manage all the paperwork and be out in the field too. So admin support will be important. And then also, as you get multiple projects and things going on, you may need a project manager, a contract manager, or something like that as well. So start looking for your team before you need them and start building on that team. Now, remember, we're building the team. We're going to build the team before we need it, but make sure you have a solid team in place. That's number 3. Now I'm talking about people that you can depend on. So that means you don't have to run over to the job site every day. If you have multiple sites or projects going on at different locations, you don't want to have to be running all over town or traveling out of town all the time because you don't have the warm and fuzzy in your gut and you don't feel that you can trust your contractor. So definitely make sure you can depend on your contractors. They're going to be there when they say they're going to be there. If something happens, they're going to let you know. So the communication is great. You don't have to worry about them ducking and dodging you when you call them and all that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, I'm talking from experience. Make sure you can depend on them. Make sure they're going to show up like they say they are. And make sure they will do quality work, whether you're standing there looking at them or not. Make sure they're going to do quality work. You want them to do quality work at a level of which you would do it if it was you. And I'm sure your level of quality would be high. So we're good with that. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, you need to position your company to win. What does that mean? Whatever it is you need to have in place, whatever those requirements are for you, 1, to be a government contractor, 2, to win a government contract, make sure you have your foundation set. I always talk about building a solid foundation, and I talk about that a lot, even in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. There's some other resources that I give the students in there because we want to make sure everybody has a solid foundation. We know the difference between a solid foundation, a shaky foundation. There's a difference, right? No different than relationships. You know whether your relationship, if you're married, whether it's solid or not, or if it's shaky, same thing. We can tell when the foundation is shaky. You need to have a solid foundation, have everything in place that is required. Okay, very, very important. And I also have a video here on the channel on becoming a government contractor. And so I talk about those things that you need to have in place to build a solid foundation. So you can definitely check that out. I'll make sure I put the link down below for you guys. So no worries there. The 5th thing is visibility. I know. Let me tell you. I know. Because when I do even my Contractors Edge Bootcamp, we do it on Zoom. And so the students are able to come there. And I know you've heard about Zoom with everything that's going on. I can see them, they can see me. We can actually talk back and forth. But you'll have a lot of people that they may not show their face. And then you'll have some people that won't say anything unless I call them out. So I don't want you to be like that. I want you to be visible. Be visible. It's very, very important. Hiding behind your computer all the time, not getting out networking. And right now that is, through technology for the most part. And that's cool. But just make sure you show up, show your face, if at all possible, so that people can connect with not only you, but your face, what you look like, your voice, and all of that stuff, so that they can remember you easier too. So make sure you are visible. That means be everywhere you need to be. Depending on your industry, your business, you should know where you need to be. Okay. I do talk about various marketing activities that you can be doing. There's videos here on the site for that too, so you can check that out. But you want to make sure that you're seen. So you want to get seen. You want to make sure you're heard. See, face to face, talking back and forth, right? So make sure you're doing those things so that you can start closing some deals. Okay. Everything is not going to happen via email. Yes, I have a success story that I shared of something I did via email that landed a huge contract, but that is not the norm. Okay. We want to make sure that you're being seen and you're being heard and that you're doing what's necessary to close some deals. Very, very important. Number 6, be prepared. Can I say that enough? Be prepared. A lot of you guys are half stepping to the bid and you're not prepared. And then you're turning in the bid and they call it non-responsive. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. And so we don't want that for you guys. Be prepared. And whatever it is you need to do, be prepared. You should have a bid process in place so that when you're bidding contracts, you can just go down your checklist, make sure you're including everything. You're not leaving anything out. Make sure you're pricing correctly. You're including all of your costs. Because how terrible to win and you didn't include all of your costs and there goes your profit margin. You have none. So we don't want that. Make sure you have your bid process. Make sure you have any tools that you need that's going to help you in the bidding process or delivering on your promise. Any tech you need. So technology, anything like that you need, make sure you have that in place. You know how to use it. People, if you're going to need the support of others, whether it's subcontractors, independent contractors, other companies, whatever it is, make sure you have those things in place as well. If you're going to need outside resources like money, make sure you have that in place. Or even if you have your own money that you're going to use, make sure it's available for you to use and that you can easily access it. Okay. And in the videos before, I've shared some of my favorite tech tools that I use. I'll definitely put the links down below after this video for that as well. Okay, number 7 is your back office systems. Back office systems. Here's something I always like to say, and I didn't bring the bookmark in here. I don't think I have it. Let me see if I got it. I always say, don't let your back office prevent the success in your front office. I have a bookmark. Let me show you. I think I do. Yep. Okay. So I always say, don't let your back office prevent the success in your front office. Okay, let's get back. Here we go. Can you see that? So this is one of the bookmarks I'll send out to my clients sometimes, but it says, don't let your back office prevent the success in your front office. So what I mean by that is we all know our craft, but what happens is we get caught up in what? All of the paperwork, bidding the contracts, putting together those proposals and things like that, the paperwork, invoicing, certified payrolls, all of that stuff is where most people fall off. Make sure your back office is in order. Okay. Let's see, did I leave anything out there? No. Okay. So yeah, just make sure your back office is tight. If you need support, get support. Number 8, have your own accounting system. Trust me. You don't want every time you get a new customer that they want to impose their accounting systems and processes and timelines on you. How do I know that? I've had it happen a few times, especially when you start working with larger companies, you get into those mentor protege programs and things like that. All of their systems and processes, they will try to impose them on you. Why? Because it's easier and it's working for them and that's what they like. And so they want you to do the same thing, but you don't have to. But what'll happen is if you don't already have your own system in place, you'll find yourself doing what they're asking, which is cool the first time, right? But then now you have 2 clients and they want 2 different things, or you're 2 different customers, and or 3 or 5, and they all want to be paid on the 1st, another one on the 15th, the other 27th, the 5th, and you can't do that. So make sure you have your own accounting system in place. If you're going to invoice on the 10th of the month, invoice on the 10th of the month. If you're going to pay out, to your vendors and different things like that, your subcontractor, say you're going to pay out once a month on the 15th of the month, do that. Okay. Because I'm telling you, they'll come in on the 10th and ask, can they be paid, or say, where's my check? When you already say your system, your process is that you pay them on the 15th of the month. Now, if you don't have that in place, what happens? Now you're either trying to scramble and pay them and you're out working, and how does that work? So have your own system in place. This one is really, really, really important for a variety of reasons that I won't get into right here, but it is important. Okay. Accounting system, how you're going to pay, how you expect to be paid. Please have that in place. Trust me, I'm not going to get into my horror stories, but trust me. Okay, so the last one is mentorship. Mentorship can look like anything that you want it to be, and really you should formulate what you want out of a mentorship. And when I say mentorship, I mean, if you have deficiencies anywhere, say you don't know a lot about government contracting, well, you need to learn. If you don't know how to bid, you need to learn how to bid, right? If you don't know how to put together your proposals, you need to learn how to do that. If you don't know how to break down the solicitations, pull out the requirements, write your proposals, you need to learn how to do that. And if you don't know what a solicitation is, trust me, you need to know what that is. The RFPs, RFIs, all of those. You need to know the ins and out of government contracting if you want to be successful. Okay. And in a mentorship program is a place where you can learn those things. You can also learn some of the things as far as your craft with a mentor protege type of relationship, where they're going to teach you the ins and outs of running, for example, a janitorial business or your IT company. Again, remember I said we all know our craft. We probably did it in a prior career, or we're doing it now, but where most people fall is on the business side. The business side of general business, and then the side of government contracting business. That's where most people fall. They can do the work. You've been doing that forever, but it's the paperwork, the systems, the processes, and knowing how government contracting work and the things that you need to do as a business owner to stay a business owner. That is where people fall. So make sure you're in some type of mentorship. And to be quite honest, me personally, I always have a mentor, even myself, because here's the thing. I always want to take my business to the next level, just like everybody else. So no matter where I'm at, I'm always trying to get it to the next level. Okay, so don't get complacent. Always be striving for that next level. And me personally, I like someone to guide me. So that way it takes out all the guesswork, a lot of wasted time. I want to fast track it, give me the cliff notes, you know, where I don't have to decipher through everything and figure it out on my own. I like when someone lays it out for me step by step because I can follow the steps. So have your mentor of some sort. And here's the other thing. Think about this. Most successful people that you probably know have a mentor. They have a mentor, especially in the early stages, you know, where you're trying to get your business up and running, where you're trying to make your first 6 figures. Okay, now you want to take it to $1 million. Now it's multiple $1 million. And even at that level, there's still always things that we're looking for. There's something that we always need to take, tweak, or make better to get us to the next level. Once you start having employees, a whole nother ball game. It's always something. We're always looking at ways to scale, be efficient, and grow our business. So for me, I always have a mentor. And for any of you guys, if you know this is new to you, you have some deficiency somewhere, you're trying to get your first contract done, learn about government contracting, you guys know I have the Contractors Edge Bootcamp, so you can always check that out. Okay. So any of the references I made here in this video, I will afterwards go put the links down in the description for you guys so that you can go watch the other videos as they relate to what we talked about here today so that you can get a further understanding and start implementing on some of the things that I shared here with you guys today. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. There you have it. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for Q&A. If you have any questions, I'll go ahead and answer questions. We covered a wide variety of things today, so the floor is open. If it's business, government contracting, go ahead and ask your questions. Start popping them in the comments below. If you have not, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you're going to be offering or do offer to the government. We want to know. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, Lavaris is here. Okay, welcome, welcome. And if this is your first time, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you can get notified when I go live, as well as when I drop new videos. So 2 videos usually hit the channel every week, so you don't want to miss out. That way it'll keep you abreast of the new things that I'm talking about, and then you'll have the information as you need it because it's all right here on the channel. So go ahead, pop your questions in. Go ahead, pop your questions in. I'll give that a minute to come through. Again, if you need support, this is the last session of the Contractors Edge Bootcamp happening, next month. Can you believe it? In exactly 4 weeks. We start December 2nd. So if you want to join us for the Contractors Edge Bootcamp, this is your last time to get in for 2020. And guess what? I know we're ending our year, right? The year will end next month for us. But guess what? The government just started their year. They just started their year last month. So they already have their funding in place. They know what contracts they're going to put out. Wouldn't you like to know what those contracts are as they relate to what you offer to the government? I teach you how to do that inside the Contractors Edge Bootcamp, along with how to get your first bid done and actually bid, have your bid process. I share my proposal template with you guys that I used to win contracts for real. And a lot of other resources are there for you with the ultimate goal of getting your first bid done. So if you want help with that support, check it out. It doesn't hurt to check it out. And I'm going to put the link down here below. It's firstbiddonefast.com. Firstbiddonefast.com. So I put the link down there for you guys. All right. So if you have any questions, go ahead, pop them in. We're going to answer those real quickly for you guys. And then you can go vote if you haven't voted yet. All right, let me scroll just a little bit. Okay, so Danny says, does every government contract require a bond? No. Okay, and Danny also says, what are the different requirements on becoming a prime than a subcontractor? Well, it's not this, and I'm going to gather you mean with the government, probably. So if you want to be a prime with the government, more than likely they're going to want to see some past performance. You're going to have your business set up. You need to be registered in the SAM registration, those type of things. The actual requirements are different based on the opportunity, the solicitation, the RFP they have out, or the RFP or RFQ. So the requirements could be different. It just depends on what it is and what they want to see. So I can't give you a definitive answer on what that would be. What we do know, if you're targeting correctly, like your right customers and things like that, and you have your government foundation set, then you'll have what you need to be successful and meet those requirements. Now, again, as a prime, they are going to want to see some past performance. I can tell you that, especially when you get into the larger contracts, especially on the service side. Now, a lot of times, what I want to say, on the product side, they don't necessarily look for past performance, right? It's other things that they look for. Also, when contracts are smaller, a lot of times they will give you a chance, right? When it's at a lower level. I've had clients in the last session of the boot camp. One person won a contract for $88,000, first government contract. And she hadn't did any sub work on government contracts either. So first time on government grounds doing work. So that was $88,000. I had another client win one for $48,500, I think. I had another one win one for $24,000. I think it was another one for $108,000. I can't remember the numbers, but notice the lower level contracts, the dollar value. So a lot of times, even though it's a service, you're able to get in and win a contract. Now, out the gate, you're not going to be able to go and you don't have any past performance or anything and jump to $1 million contract. Probably not likely. So let's be realistic in that. But the smaller contracts, lower level contracts where it's not as much what I want to say, risk, then you could go after some of those. So I hope that answers your question. Oh, hey, CB. Okay, I don't know who you are, but welcome. Don't remember you here. So CB says, once you are registered with SAMS, are telemarketing allowed to call you to solicit their services? Is there a way to block them? I don't know, because I don't know how they're getting them, but something is happening, because we all get them, where once you get registered in SAMS, and we have to remember the government, private information, public information, right? It's public information. So some kind of way they're getting a list or something. I don't know. It's all public information. When we register our business, it's public information. And so they're able to get your information, and, basically you could just tell them, please do not call you, take you off the call list, that kind of thing. Or if it's via email, you can unsubscribe or tell them to remove you from their marketing list or something like that. Yeah. But that means you are being seen. You're getting visible. So it's good, but, not the visibility that you want. Oh, thank you, Danny. Danny says, thank you. You are awesome. Okay, great. I answered your question. Cool. Ty says, great info as always. Thank you. Telvis says, let's see. If you have no special skills to provide, what are some contracts you should go after? Well, that's difficult for me to answer, because I don't know what your skill set is, what you would be good at. Remember the first thing I said, one offer, and I said I have a video on the channel about your NAICS code. So you could do that process to kind of figure out what to offer to the government. If that doesn't work for you, or you want more support, I do help the students inside the Contractors Edge Bootcamp figure that out. It doesn't take us long, but I have to have a back and forth conversation with you to be able to support you in a answer that would really be a fit for you, because I just don't know anything about you to offer a suggestion. And I don't want to do that. And I don't have all the information that I need. Okay. Telvis says, what should your target profit be per contract percentage? I talk about that on a video here on the channel. So I'm not going to go into total detail here. Again, it depends. It depends on where you're located, what the market will bear, what you're offering to the government, how big the contract is, how much of that you can put into the numbers to, support it. So there's a multitude of different things we have to look at. We do talk about that in module 3 of the Contractors Edge Bootcamp as well, where we can dive deeper into it and We go through it individually with everybody's company and figure out what that would look like for them individually, because it depends on a lot of things. Standard, just across the board, you may see anywhere from 2% to 15% on average. Sometimes it can be a whole lot more when you get into the larger contracts, but in general terms, 2 to 15% is usually what we see. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Jaleesa, hey, I think this is your first time. Welcome, welcome. So Jaleesa says, do you have to get certifications, minority, woman, business owned, to start with bidding on contracts? No, you do not. You do want to get them, right? You always want to have all the certifications for which you qualify. I talk about that. But you don't necessarily have to have it to start bidding. No. What I teach my students in the boot camp, hear me on this. This is what I teach you guys. One thing, there's never a place or space where there's nothing to do. That's the first thing. While you're building your foundation, your government foundation, whether that's getting registered with the government, doing your certifications, getting your business set up, all of that, we're also in the process of figuring out who's your customer and starting to bid contracts once your business is set up as a business. So we're not waiting on anything. We're trying to get the cash flowing as quickly as possible. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Danny says, do you have some names of third-party investors that can help with bonding and overhead? So I don't have any third-party investors per se. I do have some contacts, people that I know that do that type of thing, but no one, I haven't worked with them in that way because I've never had to get financial support that way. Okay. And here's the other thing. A lot of times you guys think that you have to take out loans, get investors, give up a piece of your company to, get this going. And you don't. There's another way. I teach you guys that inside the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. I teach you what I did because I didn't take out any loans or anything like that. Okay. And so I teach you guys that. I believe it's module 4, where it's about expanding your resources. But yeah, so I don't have any that I can say, hey, yep, I work for this company, or they worked with me or gave me funding or anything like that. Okay. Okay, so this is our last question. Let's see. Okay. Okay, Ty says, can you talk a little more about getting small contracts with local government entities? I remember one live you talked about people having up to $25,000 to use on a flex card. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember the card off the top of my head, but it's like a credit card. Purchase card is probably what I called it. Purchase card. Yeah. So you can, well, here's the thing. I think the dollar amount, because I was talking with one of my contracting friends, I think the dollar amount is $150,000 they can put on a credit card. Some of them, everybody has their own limit that has a purchasing card. It's kind of like credit, if you will. The higher they're up, grade level, some, internal stuff, they may have a higher limit that they can spend on a purchase card than someone else that's just starting out. So yeah, you're talking about the purchase card. So you can definitely look for opportunities like that. The best way I would say is to go, again, you need to know who's your customer so you can go to them directly and see what their needs are, what they're looking for currently, that kind of thing. And I teach you guys that in module 2 of the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. Do you see how everything you need, I teach you guys inside the Contractors Edge Bootcamp? Like it's thebomb.com. I'm telling you guys. So you want to get in on that. If you haven't already, check it out. This is our last go of it for 2020. And trust me, think about this. Think about this. Today is election day, right? Think about everything we've been through this year in 2020 with our country, with the government. The one thing that has been consistent, no matter the unemployment rates, people losing their jobs, people having to go to new jobs, things shutting down for a little bit, the government never closed, and the government didn't stop awarding contracts. I don't know what else to tell you guys. The only thing I can say is you need to get in the game and learn what you don't know. Get those things in order, those success habits I talked about. If you need any type of support, you need some help learning how to do this, and you don't want to go at it alone for another year, 2 years, thinking about it, however long it's been, and you have not even submitted a bid, get in the Contractors Edge Bootcamp. That's all I can tell you. Okay. All right. All right. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys coming. One last thing before we wrap up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. What are you waiting for? Subscribe. It doesn't cost you nothing but a click. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Because here's the thing. I go back and look at the likes and things like that because it tells me the type of content you guys want to hear and what I should be doing more of. So always like the video. And this is just for me. I can't speak for other people's channels, but I do look at whether you like the video or something, because then it tells me, okay, do more of this. They want to hear more of that. And so it's your way to be heard. And here's the other thing. Guess what? When you guys comment and you like the videos, like you take some type of action to be seen, other people see you. Sometimes what happens in this chat where you guys are at right now, commenting, asking questions and things like that, deals are made. I have people in here connecting and I encourage it. Do it. If you see something, and that's why I tell you guys in the beginning, what did I say? Come in, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and what you offer to the government, because other people are going to see it as well. They will reach out to you after the fact, or if they're both, you guys are both on here live, you'll be in the chat and they'll say like, hey, CB, where are you located? Can I get your email address so we can talk about this further? Because people in my community, they have contracts. You guys are, I'm telling you, they have contracts. Those are my Contractors Edge Bootcamp. A lot of them are getting contracts. And then they're looking to sub out a portion, team with other companies. And trust me, they know how to do it. They went through the bootcamp. Okay. So don't be quiet. Be visible here. Okay. I encourage that. All right. So there you have it. That is it. We're going to wrap it up. Okay, Ty says something about saving so that she can join the boot camp. Yes, here's the thing. Remember, we start December 2nd. There's a 3-pay option if you can't do the full pay. So you can pay in 3 monthly installments. The main thing is to get in. The boot camp always fills up. Let me just tell you that. Once it fills up, I close the doors. Here's the reason why. Because I only take a max amount of students, because I'm going to talk to everybody one-on-one every session. Like I'm helping you with your business specifically every session. I know who you are. I know what you're doing, what you were supposed to do, what I told you to do. We're going to have those type of conversations in the boot camp. All right. So glad you guys came. I see Alex just popped on. Definitely. If you're just getting here, Alex, or maybe you're just commenting, come back, watch the replay. Remember, we go live on Tuesdays, 12:30. I'm thinking about switching up the time. I don't know, just a little bit. But anyway, we go live at 12:30 on Tuesday, Central Standard Time. Remember, you guys, you are just one contract away. The people that I've shared with you here today that won contracts in the boot camp, after that first contract, contracting officers are reaching out to them. Say, what? Yes, it only takes one contract. That's why I tell you guys, you are only one contract away from whatever it is you want. One contract. All right. So until next time, I'll see you guys right back here real soon. Bye for now.